This is why we can't have nice things, because we don't know how to safeguard our nice things. Sometimes we sign malicious transactions, even when we have our nice things signed away via a Ledger hardware wallet. Where are we safe? Are we safe on an exchange? Seemingly not, because we have had probably the biggest heist of all time, if not, I mean, it's definitely the biggest crypto heist that we have gotten recently. And so we're going to be diving into that and plenty more while we cover Coinbase announcing the SEC dropping the lawsuit against them. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at the cryptocurrency prices. And I invite you guys to hit the like button if you enjoy these videos, to subscribe if you're new to the channel, and turn on those bell notifications if you want to get a little ding whenever we go live, and join us out here for these updates during the week. So yes, we have Bitcoin down 2.5% at $95,978.95. It jumped off of a cliff here, and it pretty much brought the whole market along with it. We have Ethereum down 3.2%. I guess it could have been worse looking at some of this news. Although I don't really see much room for pessimism, because it's going to be very difficult for them to launder this stolen ETH, 1.5 billion in ETH, which we're going to talk about right now. But it's at $2,656.06. Not much going on except for the market pretty much selling off on the day. Overall market cap's down 3.8% at $3.267 trillion for all cryptocurrencies. So what's going on here? So we got this huge hack that happened around 12 hours ago. The largest crypto theft of all time. Historic $1.4 billion ByBit hack shocks the world of digital assets. So we have an announcement from the ByBit exchange CEO, who wrote, ByBit ETH multi-sig cold wallet. So this is a wallet that requires multiple signatures in order to approve a transaction. So wow, just made a transfer to our warm wallet, whatever that is, about 1 hour ago. It seems to have been quite hot, actually. It appears that this specific transaction was musked. Oh man, musked again. We got to definitely throw. You're hearing that, Miriam? You're hearing that, Webster? We got to throw musked in the dictionary. It appears that this specific transaction was musked. All the signers saw the musked user interface, which showed the correct address, and the URL was from Safe. However, the signing message was to change the smart contract logic of our ETH cold wallet. This resulted in the hacker taking control of the specific ETH cold wallet we signed, and transferred all ETH in the cold wallet to this unidentified address. Please rest assured that all other cold wallets are secure. All withdrawals are normal, he announced. I will keep you guys posted as more develops. If any team can help us to track the stolen funds, that will be appreciated. So ByBit hot wallet, warm wallet, and other cold wallets are fine. The only cold wallet that was hacked was the ETH cold wallet. All withdrawals are normal. You also see a response down here from the CEO of Binance CZ. Not an easy situation to deal with. Might suggest to halt all withdrawals for a bit as a standard safety precaution. Will provide any assistance if needed. Good luck. And from my understanding, Binance did offer a sort of bridge loan to help with some of these losses that transpired as far as ETH on the exchange of ByBit. ByBit later wrote, ByBit detected unauthorized activity involving one of our cold wallets. The incident occurred when our ETH multi-sig cold wallet executed a transfer to our warm wallet. Unfortunately, this transaction was manipulated through a sophisticated attack that masked the underlying interface, displaying the correct address while altering the underlying smart contract logic. As a result, the attacker was able to gain control of the affected ETH cold wallet and transfer its holdings to an unidentified address. Our security team, alongside leading blockchain forensic experts and partners, is actively investigating the incident. Any teams with expertise in blockchain analytics and fund recovery who can assist in tracing these assets are welcome to collaborate with us. We want to assure our users and partners that all other ByBit cold wallets fully remain secure. Again, they announced all client funds are safe, and our operations continue as usual without any disruption. Transparency and security remain our top priorities, and we will provide updates regularly or ASAP. So this is one of the largest, if not the largest, hack of a centralized exchange, as the block writes here. Previously, we had the CoinCheck hack where $534 million was lost in 2018. Mt. Gox's 2014 hack with $470 million stolen. So this is like 3 times the cash amount that was stolen from Mt. Gox at the time. And FTX's 2022 hack that saw $415 million drained while the exchange was entering bankruptcy proceedings. I remember FTX basically saying everything was fine as well until it wasn't. Same with Celsius. So Celsius, that platform that went down around the same time, assuring users that funds were safe, that they were safe, and it didn't turn out to be the case. So I think if you are able to get access to withdraw your ETH or whatever crypto you might have on there, it might behoove you to do so just to be safe. Although it does look like they have a lot of money left over on the exchange. According to BitMEX research, around 75% of ByBit's users' ETH deposits were drained, and the exchange still holds over $20 billion worth of other crypto tokens, including nearly $6.9 billion in Bitcoin. So they could theoretically sell some of that to buy back some ETH. $4.1 billion in USD Tether and $1.2 billion still of ETH. So less than what they got hacked in ETH. So while they are kind of claiming that they are 1-for-1 as far as deposits still on the platform, it might be the case that some of that ETH really isn't there and they would have to pick it up. After all, why would they need a bridge loan from Binance if user funds were completely safe? So that's literally like the first flag to me that says maybe not everything is fine on the in Kansas, so to say. So Ben Zhu also wrote later, ByBit is solvent even if this hack loss is not recovered. All of clients' assets are 1-to-1 backed. We can cover the loss. So take him at his word. Maybe. I don't know. Crypto Bitlord shared this. I think it's pretty funny. He's more one of the clowns here on crypto Twitter, been around for a while. Blinking Morse code message from the ByBit founder. This man is clearly blinking a secret message during the live stream after this hack. Let's take a look.
I think one question is how many users are affected? I mean, to be honest, right now, everyone is affected, right? I think, some are retail. I think one question is how many users
he said it not just with his eyes,
to be honest,
but he kind of said it with his words. Everyone is affected. So if everything's fine, how is everyone affected? Not entirely certain on that just yet. ByBit then reported later on, we have reported the case to the appropriate authorities, and we will send an update as soon as we have further information. We have fortunately worked quickly and extensively with on-chain analytics providers to identify and demix the implicated addresses. So apparently the hackers went ahead and divvied out the money that they had hacked over to about 3 or 4 addresses that then created dozens of other accounts. They were depositing into legitimate crypto accounts to try to poison them and to try to, I guess, find some sort of way to mix this. They were already trading on decentralized exchanges such as Pancake Swap in order to move those coins into other tokens such as STETH, staked ETH, and so on. So they're definitely trying to hide it and figure out exactly how to liquidate those holdings. We have platforms like, for example, Circle, who have already blacklisted these linked addresses, so therefore they cannot sell into Circle's stablecoin, USDC. However, I wonder what that means if they start poisoning other accounts, right? If they start sending to people who are completely innocent, like sending an ETH and then even a portions of an ETH, right, to many different addresses, kind of clouding the whole ecosystem. Circle can't blacklist all of these accounts if they're innocent and they just received these funds and had nothing to do with the hack. So you can see how this could unfold into a deeper problem, I think, for users and Ethereum, even outside of those at ByBit Exchange. He's blinking, we're not selling. Yeah, maybe they're not selling. I don't know. So ByBit hacker apparently has 400,000 ETH, and the Ethereum Foundation has 218,000 ETH. And he wrote this in response, Evan, to Guru, who had said, I feel safer with $1.5 billion worth of ETH in the hacker's hands instead of the Ethereum Foundation. So the Ethereum Foundation has only like half of what this hacker was able to take, which is incredible when you put it in that perspective, the amount that was taken here. And then Arkham Intelligence seemed to have linked up here with XBT, scam survivor turned 2D investigator, someone who frequently does blockchain forensics and has for many years. I followed his work. And Arkham Intelligence, who allows us to use various tools to analyze wallets and the ecosystem at large. I've been to them, for example, recently to look at the World Liberty financial accounts and the ETH that they were buying and all these other coins they were buying and making moves with. So anyway, Arkham seems to have found out with ZachXBT exactly who may have perpetrated this crime, right? At 1909 UTC today, ZachXBT submitted definitive proof that the attack on ByBit was performed by the North Korean hacker group, the Lazarus Group. You might remember that they were the ones that were frequently cited for the reason that Tornado Cash, the mixing service for Ethereum, it's not even a service, smart contract, whatever you want to call it, was they were basically laundering money through there, over $400 million, I believe it was. And so that name should seem familiar to you, the Lazarus Group. His submission, ZachXBT's reports Arkham, included a detailed analysis of test transactions and connected wallets used ahead of the exploit, as well as multiple forensic graphs and timing analyses. The submission has been shared with the ByBit team in support of their investigation. We wish them all the best. So certainly some in the community are coming out and trying to dig into this and helping out with trying to secure, if not figure out where those funds are headed and where they might be headed, and therefore helping with blacklisting all these accounts as well. But really, really wild. Again, to remind you guys, in a nutshell, it was a multi-sig cold wallet that changed the rules that allowed these funds to get out of that cold wallet by having multiple signatures on these transactions, by changing the user interface to display incorrectly what was going to be happening. So wild. Ted Pillows wrote, if the ByBit hacker burns $1 billion plus in ETH, they'll be in the history books. Burn it. Become a legend. Yeah, maybe burning will become a theme. Somehow, I doubt they will burn that huge amount of ETH. More than likely, this could be the case. Breaking, writes Carl B. Menger, North Korea to establish strategic Ethereum reserve. Where will they get the funds from? Anyway, that's the story on that today. It's developing as we go here. As a U.S. citizen here, I cannot access ByBit Exchange. Myself, personally, I heard about it a lot after 2017 when you, for example, heard about a lot of influencers who were using the referral links for ByBit. ByBit was so frequently mentioned. I didn't personally have a partnership with them, but it looks like I could have because the CEO follows me, funny enough. But be careful, guys, if you do have any funds on there. Just in proliferance of caution, I would take any money that I got out of there while the dust settles, so to speak. So the other story that I wanted to talk about today was in relation to Coinbase, the SEC going after them for operating an unlicensed security exchange, where basically they said Coinbase was allowing for the trading of securities, but refused to talk about exactly what was a security. Like, you should know. You should absolutely know what's security, and you're allowing it for trading, and they therefore sued Coinbase. Coinbase has announced now, I guess because of what we're hearing about from the new crypto task force, the new heads of the SEC, the interim head, for example, and those who are very positive about crypto, about stopping some of this stifling of innovation and so on, and being a little bit clear here, we're hearing that they're going to be dropping that case from Coinbase. So here is Brian Armstrong, who wrote, great news after years of litigation, millions of taxpayer dollars spent, let's call it wasted, and irreparable harm done to the country. We reached an agreement with SEC staff to dismiss their litigation against Coinbase once approved by the commission, which we're told to expect next week. So it still does have to be voted in by the commission. This would be a full dismissal with $0 in fines paid and zero changes to our business. This is hugely vindicating, especially because many people questioned my decision to engage in litigation with the SEC on this matter in 2023. Just let them bully you, right? You're not going to win against the government. People told me, wrote Brian, the courts would give a lot of leeway to the government. They said public market investors wouldn't like it. They said it would take years and cost us tens of millions of dollars in legal fees, which it did. And I remember talking about this early on when this first happened, and I remember this quote exactly, that it was expected to cost that much, but they were ready to fight it anyway. They said the agency would use mafia tactics, like trying to pressure other companies not to work with us while the lawsuit was underway, which they did. But I knew a few truths that helped make it an easy decision to fight them in court. One, the SEC was wrong on the law. They were exceeding the authority given to them by Congress by asking us to delist a number of assets that were not securities. We had taken a conservative approach to ensure we weren't listing any securities, and the SEC itself had allowed us to go public in 2021 after reviewing our listing standards in depth. Yeah, isn't that absolutely ridiculous? You allow them to go public, create shares of Coinbase, you review them with excruciating detail, only to file a lawsuit against them? It makes absolutely no sense. We tried to come in and register as the SEC was frequently advising, but it turned out it was a fake offer, as every crypto company discovered. Regulators are supposed to enforce the law, but they can't make up new laws on the spot if they don't like the current ones or weaponize a lack of clarity in the law. 2, caving to their demands could have killed the crypto industry in America. The SEC made it clear to us that the only way to avoid litigation was to delist the many assets they falsely claimed were securities. It was a bullying tactic, pure and simple, driven by Gensler's, called out specifically, by Gensler's own political agenda. And if we had caved, it would have dramatically limited the scope of which crypto assets were allowed in the US and pushed the industry further offshore. I mean, dang, this is why I don't have any funds on ByBit. Maybe they helped me in that case, but anyway, I'm just being ridiculous. Into the shadows. Never forget how close a few activists in government came to unlawfully killing an entire industry in America. It could have easily gone the other way. Thank goodness the founding fathers created the judicial branch as a check and balance on executive power. 3, it was the right thing to do for our customers and the industry. At the end of the day, it didn't matter what our chance of success was. I had to stand up for our customers and our industry's rights. I also knew it would serve as a deterrent for future bad actors around the world we may have to engage with, for them to know that we won't be bullied or pressured. We are comfortable engaging litigation across multiple fronts indefinitely while continuing to build. Oof, tough. This is business as usual. As Bane in The Dark Knight says, you merely adopted the dark. I was born in it. Growing up, I had a naive view that regulators exist to hold companies accountable. What I realized in this ordeal is sometimes companies must hold regulators accountable who are painting outside the bounds of the law to preserve freedom. Accountability can actually happen both ways. At Coinbase, our mission is to increase economic freedom, and I initially thought we could achieve this solely through crypto products. But I'm increasingly realizing that we can move the needle on the economic freedom in the courts and through our policy efforts as well when we see bad actors in government around the world. And we plan to do more of this. I have to give credit here to the Trump administration for winning the election and for the departure of the activist head of the SEC, Gary Gensler, who orchestrated this unlawful action along with Elizabeth Warren and a handful of their lackeys in Congress. I feel confident we would have won this case in the courts either way, given our facts were so strong, but it certainly helped accelerate the process and drive accountability. I called out the sketchy behavior of the SEC back in 2021, and I believe this comment turned out to be prescient. I want to give a shout out to all other crypto companies who fought back with their own lawsuits. We certainly were not the only ones. We've heard, of course, of other reputable countries, like even Kraken, who did kind of had to bend over backwards for the SEC, paying huge fines and stopping staking services and so much else, which I think impacted the users more than anything. I want to give a shout out to all the crypto startups who couldn't afford the legal fees and went bankrupt due to the administration's abusive tactics. Your company may have died, but crypto lives on. Don't stop building. I want to give a shout out to both Democrat and Republican members of Congress who are working hard to ensure America leads on crypto. I know that Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren do not represent the entire Democratic Party. And I want to give a shout out to all the crypto holders in the US, you guys, who elected pro-crypto candidates on both sides of the aisle to make sure your rights were preserved. It turns out the crypto voter is real and showed up in the millions. Yeah, we are becoming a stronger and stronger force out there that cannot be ignored, especially on the economic front that becomes more and more important as people wake up to what inflation really is. Finally, I expect we'll continue working productively with the SEC on any number of items over the years, just as we do with every agency around the world where we operate. I look forward to the SEC being reformed under Paul Atkins, Mark Ayuda, Hester Pierce, and Doge, and new, more sensible personnel coming into leadership roles. I commend the new leadership that is already in place for working to right this wrong. It's a great step in the right direction and took courage. Now let's get some crypto legislation passed in the US to finally clarify the rules and really kick off this next phase of building. Yeah, man, since like 2017, we have been under a very dark cloud from multiple agencies. The CFTC, and the SEC, I think, are the major culprits of this, along with certain members of Congress and administrations in the past who have done a lot of work to keep crypto in the shadows and make it continue to look like where rats crawl to hide. Certainly some do. I mean, we still have like North Korea's Lazarus Group seemingly out here, but there is so much good energy behind this and so much potential for economic freedom that does not exist within the confines of the Fed's system that I could not be more ecstatic about what could be coming up here, at least over the next 4 years, hopefully. Anyways, that's the show I have for you guys. I think really major news as we top off the week here. I think looking at the charts here, going back, despite this drop that we saw today, I think it's not impacting the market nearly to the degree that it could have. And it's going to show the strength of this market. I've talked about how good news has not done much to push up the price. Well, the bad news is not taking us down to Goblin Town either. So I think we're just setting up support here, coiling the springs to take off into a brighter future here for crypto than what I have seen since back when I got started. And there really was so much more freedom in this space. So I look forward to getting behind those strategies again, and those who really are rooting for that specific cause, and the builders and those of you guys out there who do that kind of work and help to educate folks. Thank you so much for being a part of this as we wrap up this week. Today is February 21st, 2025, Friday. I wish you all a great weekend. Thank you guys for joining me here. Happy Friday indeed, Renee. No tears for me. I guess ByBit is probably pretty stressful today. And some of these blockchain forensics guys are going to have a lot of work over the weekend for themselves. Hey, what's up, Mr. Orange? Mark Johnson, I've been good, man. Thank you so much for having asked if you're still out there. I believe cycles may be speeding up, kind of like all-time high before halvening. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. There's so many different things that have manipulated the markets down. Stifling of ICOs, these regulations, that it definitely has not been a free market. So I wouldn't be surprised to see more volatility. And I actually think that's a good thing. When I speak about volatility in crypto, I think it wipes out a lot of the bad bets. I think it refocuses us and centers us again to focus on what is right, what kind of fundamentals are good to focus on. And so it could definitely re-accelerate things, volatility. Over the long term, we should expect volatility to go down, right, as the market caps climb. But those printers are firing ever hotter. Those money printers. So I think we still got a long way to go, guys. They're not going to be paying off this debt. They're going to be printing the money to pay it, and a lot of that money is going to eke its way over into crypto. And so I'm here for the ride with you guys, as I've been here since 2016, and I look forward to hopefully winning with you guys along the way. And I think today was a big win here with the Coinbase news. Not so much with ByBit, although it was informative for us, to say the least. There was so much that the exchange could have done better, but didn't. They relied, for example, on one user interface. They didn't verify things properly. They believed their eyes, and it's a shame to have seen that. So hopefully this sets up the stage for better security. I think that's a big win as well. And we'll see what the weekend and next week brings, guys. Take care, everyone. Much love and stay cryptic. Peace.